Welcome everybody to a very exciting video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using the reworked Skull Merchant, as always, using a really interesting build today, where her power got completely changed. You're going to read this, please read that and pause the game so you can understand what's going to happen. I'm going to try and explain it as we continue playing, but I'm not going to read this because it's a long paragraph. But first we'll use Corrupt Intervention. What this perk does is the furthest gens from us when the game starts are automatically blocked by the entity and for 2 minutes, but then if we down a survivor, then that means those generators are those generators will automatically be unblocked. Scorch Pain Resin, all know what this perk does. 4 random hooks become Scorch Hooks. Hook a survivor for the first time on a Scorch Hook. The gen with the most power grab loses 25%. Jolt, every time we down a survivor basic attack. Any generator that 13 minutes away from the down survivor will automatically explode and lose 8% and start regressing. And Brutal Strength, so we can basically kick pallets, walls, and generators 20% faster using Geographical Readout, so we can basically move faster once we use our drones. And we're using a really interesting add-on that got completely changed, which I believe is called, not low power mode, it is called, as you can see, our add-ons got changed. You're going to pause the video and see what add-ons are. Please pause and read them. It's Vital Targeting Processor. What the add-on does now is basically, if we are to scan a survivor with our drones, they get a 3% increase hinder status effect. Instead of the normal 10%, it's down 13%, which is really good because they completely changed her power. And the reason why I'm doing this video, and I know this update's been out for like 3 days now, I believe, at the time of posting this video or recording this video, I have been kind of busy. Like the second the update came out, I was working, and then but I was on fall break, so I was really happy. So I had like no classes, but I was working, so it was basically like I didn't really have that much time to play. Then when I did have time to play, I didn't have time to record because I didn't have any time. So I have not been uploading any content for y'all, sadly. But don't worry, I have many videos already like ready for y'all and planned. All I have to do is continue playing the game. But of course, I wanted to show y'all that this is a Prestige 100 in this game, so I have to destroy them like I always do. But this is the first ever Skull Merchant game I did. Normally, I don't really post if I lose or win, but you'll see what happens as we continue playing. But it's the first ever Skull Merchant game I did, and let's hope that it goes pretty well. Okay, playing on Father Campbell's Chapel, a map I literally never get ever, so I'm really happy that I was able to get this map. So first things first, you see we have 6 drones instead of 5. I really put a drone here because I was like, this is a place where people will try and go here a lot. So let's talk about the Skull Merchant rework before I start. Do I like the rework or do I hate it? I absolutely love the rework. It is so much fun to play here. She already was fun to play in general, but then it's like they made it even better. And I don't know how they did it, but probably behavior found a way to make the killer even more fun to play. So like, this is my first ever time playing, so I have watched a lot of gameplays. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm glad you can switch the control of your drones and make them move a certain way. But now that I've scanned this girl, I believe twice already, once she gets scanned one more time, she'll get a claw trap on her. Right there, I saw Nicolas Cage, and I didn't hit him because I was like, I don't care. I want to go after you, and I want to see if I can get my build to work as planned. So I believe that if I just like use my power to basically move faster, I'll be able to break pallets really fast. But sadly, this girl doesn't drop the pallets. So I'm like, oh. So, but yes, this power is really interesting now. I really enjoy it. I have no problem with it at all. Some people like it. Well, I haven't really heard any really complaints about it besides like, I haven't heard any complaints on the survivor side. I'm sorry, on the killer side. I have heard some complaints on the survivor side, but I'll get into those a little bit later. But for now, for me, I love this rework. They buffed her power to make it much better, to where it feels more consistent. And then because you can turn the beams too, it makes it so even if it was gonna miss, you have the ability to just be like, low no, and make it hit. And that's really good. And there is counterplay to it, of course, but it's just like, a lot of people don't really understand the counterplay, so they completely just immediately say, lol, bye, I don't feel like playing anymore, and they leave the game, or they just complain about Skull Merchant, and I'm like, okay, I guess. But that is basically what's happening. But like I told y'all, I love this rework. It is so good. She feels so smooth, she feels really good. The only thing I didn't like about it was, I played like a bunch of matches for y'all, like a bunch, and I don't know how many I'm going to show y'all in this game, I mean, in this video, but I do have a bunch of matches already prepared for y'all. I'm gonna put this drone up here. All this guy has to do is literally stand still and he wouldn't get hit by the drone, or crouch. But instead, what ends up happening is he decides to try to loop, and I'm like, what are you doing? You literally can just crouch and dodge, or you can stand still and dodge, or you can hack the drone fast, or you can run away. But instead, he decided to try and stay in the same loop that the drone was there. So I was like, okay, what is fine by me? Let's go right here. I'm gonna try to get a free hit. But he was kind of in a bad spot in general. Like, his options were there, but it's like when you're in that situation, you don't really think about your options very much. Then I'm bad. I missed like usual. Then I get confused, and I'm like, oh. So she got a lot of distance from me, so I'm like, oh, I lose. But now I'm gonna go over here and chase this girl. But yes, I'm sorry if my comments are kind of weird. I'm trying to commentate, but I'm really, it's kind of hard to commentate when this was my first ever game playing as her. But basically I'm trying to turn my drone so I can try to hit her, but I kind of missed. And when I finally did get her, it was kind of late. So I was like, oh, okay. Then she's already gone, but luckily I can track her on the radar for a little bit, so that's fine by me. But instead of tracking her, I found someone else. Now, I've done this so many times, by the way. I forget, by the way, she dead hard. That dead hard was so late, but for some reason why it still counted, I don't know why. But anyway, and then the girl vaults the pound. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't even know what's happening. But they do really 2 quick gens really fast. And what happened is I keep forgetting, because I'm so new to this, every time you place a drone with Skull Merchant, you become untetherable for 8 seconds. And I completely forget that. And because I forget that, I run towards a survivor and I think to myself, they can hear me or they can see me. But in reality, they don't hear my terror radius, so as long as they're not looking at me, they don't know I'm coming, and I can grab them every single time. But for some reason, I end up not doing it because I forget about that. But like I told you, it's my first game ever, so I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. So the reason why I brought Corrupt Intervention is I knew that she was going to be a trap-based killer. I've been thought about using Corrupt Intervention on her before the rework even happened. Well, yeah, before the rework even happened. But as part of doing the rework, I was like, well, Corrupt Intervention is like a really good idea because of the fact that I have the ability to basically block gens, and now the generator is blocked. I can just what's it called? Now the generator is blocked. I have the ability to place my drones in the right location, kind of like Trapper does. But then I missed his hit, by the way. But that was the plan. But instead of me placing my drone in the right location, I kind of just went straight towards the survivors anyway and killed them, or tried to kill them. So this guy gets claw trapped, by the way, because he got scanned 3 times. So I'm going to explain how her power works after we down this person, if we can even try and down them. But first, I'm going to try and keep chasing him. You see, he keeps getting located by my drone. Every time, well, let's really explain. So what happens is, you place on your drone, and then as you can see, there's those orange beams. Before those orange beams exist, is in stealth mode. If a drone's in stealth mode, it will spin around in a circle, slowly, well, slower, and then the lines that are orange will be invisible. So you and the survivor cannot see them. If a survivor runs into one of those lines that's invisible, then the survivor will be scanned, get one lock on stack, and the drone will turn from sneak, I can't remember what it's called, sneak mode or like silent mode to scanning mode. When a drone is in scanning mode, it spins way faster, and the lights are actually visible, so the survivors can see what direction the lights are going in. And that is really good, of course, because it moves faster, but it's bad because the survivors can see where to, like, can figure out how to dodge and can stand still at the right spots and never get hit. But that is basically how power works. Every time a drone beam hits a survivor, they gain 1 lock on stack. 1 and 2 lock on stacks does absolutely nothing, except for just, like, you know, scan them. But once the survivor gains a 3rd lock on stack, they automatically get a claw trap, they automatically get injured, and they automatically have the broken side effect on them, so they can't heal because the claw trap gives them the broken side effect. And also you can see their aura, or you can see the where they are on the map. All that I just lied, by the way. So like I told you, the first 2 scans don't do anything. No, the only thing they do is they basically give you a lock-on stack. Lock-on stacks do not go away until you get down. They literally stay on you forever until you're down. Now, this is fair in my opinion because the Skull Merchant can't even see who has lock-on stacks. They can see someone got locked on, but they have no way to know how long the lock-on stacks. I mean, they have no way to know how many lock-on stacks they have. So I think it's fine that it stays on the entire game, but I do kind of wish you could see who had lock-on stacks, because the amount of times I've accidentally killed someone or I've accidentally got a hit because I just chased someone and then they randomly got locked on, and then because they got locked on, they just died. It was so funny. It didn't happen this game, but it did happen like games after I started playing as her. I was like, wow, this is funny. But at the same time, I understand why they don't let Score Merchant know. But it doesn't really matter. You don't really need to know that much about who got locked on or not. As long as you're just playing the game correctly, and as long as you're chasing survivors and putting drones in the most optimal spots, you can always get some pretty decent hits and also get some scans on them. But yes, once they get scanned, they can be seen on the radar for a few seconds. Someone was saying like they think the radar is kind of useless. They don't really understand how it works. But I feel like it was because first it was new and it was a PTB, and second, they don't play Score Merchant like that, so they don't really understand like what's happening. Now Score Merchant does not get slowed down anymore when she looks at her radar. She moves at the exact same killer speed and never gets slowed down, which is really good. The slowdown she got anyway wasn't even that big when they gave it to her. And I'm really happy they got rid of it because it does feel more smoother. Like, why should I get slowed down when I look down slightly and now I get slowed down? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm glad they fixed that and they decided to change that. But basically, you just need to make sure you scan survivors as many times as possible in a match. The more you scan them, then once they get 3 scans, they get injured and you're really happy. And they get broken. It's really good. And you can also track them. So, like I said, when they get scanned, you can track them for a few seconds. When they get scanned 3 times, though, they get a cloud trap. When they have a cloud trap, you can scan them forever. Like, that means like you can look on the radar, and you can always see them, no matter what. Which is really good. And I like that because Score Merchant is one of the few killers in the game that has her own way of finding survivors. Meaning, what I mean by that is, like, some killers use like aura perks in order to find survivors. Well, Score Merchant has a way to basically find survivor that beats distortion, that beats every form of anti-aura perks basically, and she can still see you, which is really good. So this person right here is going to play the drone. This is what I mean when I say I wish I could see how like many times like what people's scan was. Because I didn't know that girl was on her 3rd scan, I literally just hit her and was so confused because she got a speed buff out of nowhere, and I'm like, what? And that's the reason why I said I wish I could just see when she got scanned. Not so I can follow the person who like has the most scan, even though I feel like the reason why they don't want people to see it is because of that reason. That reason that I just said right there, where you can see exactly who has scanned or not. But then it's like stuff like that. Like I hit the girl, and now I'm like, oh, she's injured, and she's broken. I'm happy, but it's like I didn't know that. Like I have no way to know that until it happens, and I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But I'm not really mad. Once you get used to it, though, you can react fast enough. It is because this is my first game. I was like not prepared mentally. So the second thing about her drones I want to add is, like I told you, once you get scanned 3 times, you get a claw trap. Once you get scanned while you have a claw trap, a few things happens. You automatically get hit with a deep wound status effect, which is really good. That is so important because, in case you don't know, if you're deep wounded, then you're unbreakable. Your endurance does not exist. Meaning, if you're deep wounded, you cannot use the perk Dead Hard. Also, I can just use the add-on that makes them exhausted when they get a claw trap anyway. But it's the fact that basically she has built-in Dead Hard counter, which is really good because Dead Hard's really annoying to deal with sometimes. Because Dead Hard's like not the most annoying perk in the world, but it's the fact that like she can just say no. She can literally just say no Dead Hard for you. It also counters a lot of like, it counters Dead Hard, it counters off the record. It's really good being able to dewound them. And also what happens is, if they already have a claw trap and they get scanned, they get a 10% hindered that I think lasts for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I don't know how long it lasts for, but that's why I had that green add-on you see on the bottom left, where basically it will slow them down even longer. But this was the first game I ever did with her, and I had a lot of fun. Like, I literally had so much fun. The only problem I have with her, and this is the problem that I had when I just started playing her, it's not a problem that Score Merchant has in general. By the way, I'm talking while I'm looking for this girl on the ground. That's why I'm talking so much. But it's not a problem that Skull Merchant has, honestly, in general. It was just me. When you're so used to playing her one way, and your playstyle revolves around that like one thing you do, which was, okay, I use my drones to protect the gens. Now I can just chase survivors and use 1 or 2 drones in that one chase to hopefully be able to catch the survivors. That was my whole game plan. Like, you don't focus on gens, you focus on chasing. Now it's like I can't even focus on gens because my drones don't scan people who don't move. So now I'm 100% chase focused, which is perfectly fine by me. Well, not really chase. It's like a trap focus. Like, I like that a lot. I actually really like trap based killers, and they made a fun trap based killer. Now, is she top tier? Is she bottom tier? Is she trash? Is she good? I honestly don't know. When I first played her, I thought she was really bad because, again, I was still getting used to everything, and it's like you play a few games against people who know what they're doing, not against Stormer, but they know what they're doing in general. It makes you like think the killer's bad, but then as you continue playing, you realize, wait, I'm not good with this killer because the killer just came out. Let me play this way. Let me try this add-on. Let me try these perks. Let me do it like this, and then you get better and you get better and you get better, and then as a result, you understand what to do. And that's exactly what happened. I literally kept playing her, as you'll see in the future videos, and I love her so much. I think she is probably at the same spot she was at, maybe a little bit lower. The only reason why I say that is I don't know how other people were playing her. I don't really care. I play her the way I play her, and I have fun doing it. Of course, I care about y'all's opinion in the comments. So let me know in the comments what y'all think about Skull Merchant too. But of course, I do care about like what other people think of the killer. It's more like the way I play. No matter what happens, I am going to always play the same and never really complain about Skull Merchant. I love her, playing her so much. But yes, that was the first ever game I did with Skull Merchant. And of course, I got it on a map that I rarely ever play on, which is kind of funny. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the new Skull Merchant, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more gameplay of Skull Merchant, because I will be playing her all the time. Because I love her. This rework is so good. It is so much fun. They made her so unique. I will have to make, sadly, another tier list video on Skull Merchant for her add-ons, because they changed all her add-ons basically besides like one of them. And as a result, I will have to make another video about that, which I'll be doing very soon. I don't want to do it like super early, because I feel like if I do it too early, it's gonna be like not definitive, because I'm so not used to playing her yet. But so far, I have so much fun playing her, and honestly, I don't have any complaints about her at the moment. Of course, as I continue playing, maybe I'll find something that I think is kind of eh. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that you couldn't place drones as much. But then, because of what they do, and if I continue playing more in the future, like I told you, this is the first video I made with her, but I've been playing ever since I posted this video. So once I continue playing, I realized, oh, I know why they gave her a cooldown, because if you play correctly, you can injure people really fast sometimes. But anyway, like I said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.